Hey everyone, so this is day 2, and we're currently in the west coast of Iceland. We're on a peninsula right now, walking down to a beach to see if we can see some seals, because the tide is out. And the sight here is absolutely amazing. Alright, so here we are at the beach. So far I'm not seeing any seals, but it's quite the sight nonetheless. Got a little light reflection there over my shoulder. It's quite the place. Of course, I'm walking through about a foot of snow here, so Alright, so we walked down a little bit. You can see behind me here, there are some seals out there, but I'm not going to walk any further. I'm actually quite far out right now, and it's a little treacherous to get out further. So I think we'll probably call this site a success. But let's see if we can zoom in there a little bit for the seals. Little shiny black things on the rock. But alright, that's it for this site. We're here at Iceland, one of Iceland's oldest churches, right behind me here. Kind of a cool sight. And then you've got the mountains behind. And a gorgeous sun.
Oh, well, not the glacier, but we're going in the cave. Yeah. The cave. So it's on the glacier. But we're going, no, we're going towards another glacier.
Cemetery.
So everyone, welcome to VATNSHELLIR. I will be your tour guide. My name is Guðmundur Jensson. You do not have to call me that. No, just call me Gummy. Yeah, like a gummy bear. Not easy with that way for everyone involved. So today we're gonna go in there inside a lava cave or a lava tube that was created 8,000 years ago by a massive eruption. You see the hills up there? They have craters surrounding them. The lava came from there, went all across this area in big lava rivers, which would then slowly get solidified on top, but would keep running hot liquid lava underneath. Then when the eruption finally stopped, all the liquid below drained out, and we were left with these empty spaces underground that we call lava caves or lava tubes. If you want to find them, that has to happen there behind you, the roof collapsing. So that does not happen. This usually only happens early on in the process. Because if you look around the area, you might be looking over 100 caves now without even knowing it. They are everywhere in Iceland. It's kind of a pest really, but we're okay. Thanks for asking. And then up there, of course, is the beautiful glacier, and you can actually see it. And it's kind of rare. You always see it covered in clouds in February, so please take pictures as you can. Now that is the same glacier from Jules Verne's book, Journey to the Center of the Earth. Anybody read that book in the movies? Because that's the main entrance they take to find the center of the Earth. Underneath the glacier is an active stratovolcano. A stratovolcano, if you know about Mount St. Helens or Mount Fuji or Pompeii in Italy, this is all similar. It's explosive. And last time it erupted, gave us the black lava fields you can see out sticking out of the snow a little higher up than the rest. See that? That's the earliest volcanic eruption, only 1800 years ago. Still active. This entire peninsula is still volcanically active, but sleeping. So we should be fine for 45 minutes. I just cannot promise anything. This is Iceland, so if you see me running, keep up. Fantastic. Now, everyone's got one of these, I hope. These are the only lights in the cave, so it's best to keep them on the strap across the chest. Then they never go anywhere. You always have them on one side or another, left or right, and you turn them on right here. This is the on and off button. It's not the one in the back. So please keep this off, this one on, and when you walk around the cave, please walk like this. Eyes on the ground, lights on the ground. Please do not walk like this. That's how we get accidents, and they are not allowed inside my cave at any time. Also, when you come to a complete stop, you can look around as much as you want. That's no problem, and take pictures. Please zip up the pockets, so nothing falls out, you know, receipts, tickets, tissues, stuff like that, but mostly car keys and wallets. You're gonna need your wallets here in Iceland, believe you me. Very expensive. The most important rule we have is the simplest one: don't touch or take anything out of the cave. You can take pictures, like I said, with flash, but everything else we do not touch or take, because this is a national park. Everything's protected by law. So just touch with your eyes and your soul. That's pretty much it. Do you have any questions before we go in? All good? Alright, I'll be the first, don't worry. Follow me. And watch your head. That's the most important thing. You're going to be focused on the snow, but focus on your head. Live it, learn it, love it. You're going to have to walk back out with the bird box challenge. No. So everyone, it's going to be after you. You're going to start and you're going to enter it on the floor and go a little bit here to the right. So after you. Or you. Whoever wants to go first.
Oops, sorry.
Photo bomb. You want to take another one? Sure. We're not on any schedule, just to take your time.
Oop, yeah, don't miss a step.
Alright, so everyone, welcome to the cave. Now you've all been waiting for this your whole lives. So I will try to not disappoint. But now we're all standing in the breakdown, where the roof, well, broke down to give us the entrance. And you can see some of the rocks to the sides. This is merely a small piece of the rubble that we have to clear out before we could enter here. About 77 tons of rock and mud was cleared out before we did this tour. 77 tons. And there's still a lot left. So I will try and squeeze up here in the front. Walk like in the kitchen. And now we can go inside here. I saw some of you already snuck inside to take a peek. But we're gonna just watch your heads, 2-3 steps, then it's big again. So no crawling required, okay? Follow me and be careful. The tour before this I had 3. So it's always something different. The volume of my voice has go up and down, up and down. Alright, so everyone, if you would direct your eyes right over here, we got two very special type of formations. Now most people just assume that these are stalagmites, but they actually aren't. They just look similar. Stalagmites in lava tubes are created when drops of lava fall down to the floor and then stack up like candle wax. Those two, on the other hand, are made because of gas that pushes lava upwards. So these rise out of the ground itself in folds. That's why it looks like they have worms all over them. You see that? And also the fact that they're connected into the floor instead of just laying on it. That's always a little helpful tip there. Now finding one in a cave is considered a good thing. You know, it doesn't always happen, so yay. Two side by side in the same cave is just fantastic. So the national park, they heard about that and they decided to close the cave completely in 2007. Very recently basically. And then 2011 they opened this again, but only with tour guidance. Because we don't trust people. It's not tourists, specifically it's Icelanders. Yeah, we are the worst type of tourists for our own country because we are so privileged, if you will. It's like, oh, this is my country, I can do whatever the hell I want. Mine. This happens way too often. But then 2011, of course, is also we saw the increase in tourism. After the eruption in 2010, you'll probably all remember that one, right? Yeah. 100,000 airplanes around the world grounded. Everyone hated Iceland. It was a good thing because everyone was talking about Iceland. You know, there is no such thing as bad publicity. So everyone's decided to come here afterwards and come here to the cave and explore it. This was very good for the community, for the national park and Iceland in general, because only people did in Iceland the Golden Circle, Blue Lagoon.
Björk?
No, nobody liked Björk. She was never in Iceland to begin with. Imagine that was her only call to fame. She went to the Oscars in a swan dress. It's like, oh, Iceland, they all dress like that. Björk did nothing good for Iceland. I exaggerate, she's great, but still. Now we have the football team and the mountain from Game of Thrones to represent us. That's great.
Oh yeah, that's right.
Yeah, I know. Now, do you have any questions so far about the cave, about the tunnel, about the formations, about anything so far?
Why are they shiny?
The shiny things in the ceiling is the only life in the cave. Bacteria. So be very careful not to get drops in your eyes. I'm kidding, I'm kidding. These are completely harmless bacteria. They do not fall down with the water even. They stay up there exclusively eating sulfite in the ceiling. So they never come down here either. They're never on the walls or floor, just right up there. And like I said, only life. So there are no animals, insects or plants down here. Nothing at all. So it's just us and the shiny things we call the galaxy. We call it the galaxy because there are many millions of them up there, and that also makes us the guardians of the galaxy, and that's kind of cool.
But why is the galaxy only up there?
We experienced that we take some samples off the roof, and there's so much sulfite, which is basically what the bacteria eat exclusively, and that's the closest thing to the water source when it's not dripping down. So we think those two things, that's why they're only up there. Now they are kind of sensitive to big lights. Mine, if I would stand like this for like 3 hours, I would kill that circle of bacteria. That's why they only live down here and not upstairs. Sunlight kills them right off. Just like trolls, you know. Trolls get killed by sunlight, just like our little bacteria up there. So it goes hand in hand with our mythology. Any other questions? So feel free to ask me anything you want, alright? My shoe size, you know, that's okay. I'm 46 euros, so whatever. But now we're going to keep going, and we're going to stay close to the ropes the entire time. If you hold on to the ropes, you can use your flashlight to look to the left and right, but every once in a while look down to see where you're going. Careful. So this, everyone, this is a stalagmite. So this is not like the twins. This is made by drops falling down, stacking up like candle wax. Now this is one of the biggest ones we found so far in this entire peninsula, so of course it has a name. Do you want to try and guess that name?
John.
It's nothing Icelandic if you're trying to avoid that. So it's not going to be like Jörmundargandur or Þorvarðardóttir or anything like that. John? No, it's a body part.
Phallic something?
No. That's Reykjavik people here. You know. We are very clean-minded here in the West. So this is only a thumb. Oh. Also not very imaginative, since this looks nothing like a thumb. This looks like a penis, let's be honest. And if this was found close to Reykjavik, it would have been called that. Because have you seen the museum?
Yep.
Yeah, they have a museum dedicated to those things in Reykjavik. It is much weirder than you think. For us men, it's nightmare fuel because they got them in jars. Yeah. Like, why not? Came up with that. Anyway, we're going to go back to geology and some literature, because the next section is called Center. Now, has anybody here read Jules Verne's book?
Yeah.
Or seen the movies?
Yeah.
Because that is the center of the earth. And down there you will most likely see some dinosaurs, giant mushrooms, levitating rocks, a big ocean with sea monsters, Brendan Fraser, all the cool stuff. That's where it's in all the stuff. And when we get back to the surface, we are in Italy. Of course. Makes sense, right? In the book, you enter Iceland, you exit Italy. Now, but everyone, I would like to welcome you all down to the center of the earth. This is the deepest part of the cave. It's 35 meters deep underground. That's about 115 feet. But at the same time, we are 35 meters above the ocean level. So we're in the center of both land and sea right now. So of course we are going to have a ceremony to celebrate that. So I would like to ask all of you now to please turn off all your lights. Turn on all your flashlights, cell phones, tablets, GoPros, drones, cameras, everything. Any other questions?
You said the volcano was dormant?
Yes.
Do you know when it's going to erupt next, or do they have a prediction?
So there are, well, there's always some predictions about where to go off, but we never really know. That's the thing. We're into 2019 now, and geology's like predictions of volcanoes are still not very good. You know, they can give us a window of just how active the volcano is, but tell you, counting the earthquakes and the general heat from the mountains. That's the only time they can actually give us, oh, you have like 6 months to prepare yourself for that. In the window, 6 months. Now, it could be up today or in 6 months, that is. So you just evacuate any time between that. Our volcano, since it's dormant, they give us 100+ years. We're talking maybe 200, 300, possibly 1,000 years. We do not know. But the general rule of thumb in Iceland is that we get eruptions here in the country every 4 or 5 years. And that, up to this point, has been pretty accurate. 2010 is the most recent one people remember, but there was also one in 2014. So now it's 5 years later, so there will be like 90% chance of a volcano erupting this year. It could be erupting right now, actually. Really, it could. You would never feel it down here. When I've been in Iceland when the eruption taking place, I had to see it on the news. I never felt it. Okay. We're not that small of an island. We are pretty big, compared to how many volcanoes we have. And we never would feel the difference. No. There's one day I remember there was a little bit ash on my windowsill. That's it. England had it much worse than us ever did in 2010, by far. But yeah, so it could be erupting right now. You would be stuck in Iceland for a few months, or tomorrow, or in 6 months, whatever. Should we remember to turn the helms fast, and thank you all for coming.
Oh my God.
Thank you for the
Thank you.